In our time, the world cries out for peace. We see nations striving for treaties, leaders promising unity, and humanity longing for a future without fear. This hope fuels diplomacy and inspires movements across the globe. But what if the peace we seek arrives in a way we never expected? Ancient prophecies speak not just of a gentle teacher, but of a returning king, a figure of immense power who will command peace, not negotiate it. This challenges our modern sensibilities and forces us to consider a dramatic conclusion to our story. The scriptures warn that the end of the age will not be a quiet transition to utopia, but a time of great upheaval. The peace promised by world leaders will prove fragile, a calm before a final storm. The Bible suggests humanity's ultimate attempt at global unity will set the stage for a conflict of cosmic proportions. Every nation will be drawn to a single, fateful destination in the Middle East. The nations, believing they are on the brink of lasting peace, will find itself with hooks in their mouths dragged to Israel on a collision course with destiny. Ezekiel 38. 4 prophecies describe a moment when Jerusalem will be a stone unto which all nations destroy themselves and a different kind of power is revealed. Zechariah 12. 3. This is a story of divine intervention. It is the story of a king returning to claim his throne. A kingdom built not on treaties but on absolute authority and perfect justice. The ancient prophets saw a future when all nations would turn their eyes toward Jerusalem. Zechariah wrote that armies from every nation would gather to fight against this city. Imagine the world's military might converging on one small piece of land. It would seem like the end for Israel, a moment of terror and despair. News reports would show an inevitable defeat, the world holding its breath as history appears to reach a grim conclusion. The Bible describes the city being captured, its people suffering, and evil seeming to triumph. This is the darkest hour, designed to strip away hope in human strength. But this apparent defeat is not what it seems. The gathering of nations is not just human ambition, it's part of a greater plan. The world's leaders believe they act on their own, but they are being drawn into a trap not set by Israel, but by God Himself. They are unaware of the purpose they are fulfilling. The stage is set for a dramatic revelation. The prophet Ezekiel reveals God's intention. I will put hooks in your jaws and bring you out with all your army. The leaders of these armies are not in control. They are being drawn toward their final judgment. Their pride is the very hook God uses to gather them in the mountains of Israel. This is not a battle Israel is meant to win alone. It's a setup for a global demonstration of divine power. The world will watch, expecting Jerusalem's destruction, but will witness something else entirely. The purpose is not just destruction, but revelation, so the nations will know who God is. For centuries, humanity has doubted and denied Him. In this climactic event, all doubt will be erased. The armies will find themselves standing against the Creator of the universe. As they celebrate their apparent victory, the trap will be sprung. The sky will darken, the earth will shake, and a power beyond comprehension will be unleashed. The hunters will become the hunted. The world will witness the arrival of the King. The stage is set for the ultimate confrontation. Just when all hope seems lost, the earth itself will respond. The Mount of Olives will split in two, forming a great valley, a literal cataclysmic event. The ground beneath the invading armies will tear apart, signaling divine intervention. Zechariah 14:12 says a supernatural plague will strike. Flesh and eyes will melt from the bones, likely a nuclear explosion. Fire and brimstone will fall, echoing ancient judgments. Then the heavens will open. A white horse will appear, its rider called Faithful and True, his eyes blazing, his robe dipped in blood. This is not the gentle shepherd, but the conquering king, the Lion of Judah. Behind him, the armies of heaven ride, dressed in white. Out of his mouth comes a sharp sword to strike down the nations. He will rule with an iron scepter, as Lord of Lords and King of Kings. The armies of earth, thinking they fought Israel, will see the true commander they have challenged. Their technology and numbers will mean nothing before the returning king. The world will witness the ultimate reversal. The King has come to reclaim what is rightfully his. The battle will be swift and decisive. The nations gathered in pride will be utterly broken, not by human hands but by the word of the King. The power of the united world will shatter in an instant. Jerusalem, once targeted for destruction, will become the center of divine authority. The ancient promises to Abraham will be fulfilled. Israel will possess the land in peace. A new temple will rise and Jerusalem will become the center of global worship. All nations will come to honor the King, the Lord of hosts. Zechariah 14:16-19. A kingdom of perfect peace, righteousness, and justice will be established. Jesus will rule from Jerusalem, and the world will finally experience true peace. There will be no more war, no more injustice. The devil will be bound to 1,000 years before his final defeat. Revelation 20:1-3. The story of Jesus continues to a final everlasting kingdom. The question remains, he is coming. Are you ready to meet him?